Welcome back to the Who's Yanks. We have another Who's Yanks. We're talking Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we're going to be talking about a further breakdown on the USA's women's national team's Group A for their CONCACAF Women's Championship Tournament, which doubles as a reminder for the World Cup and the Olympic qualifying. So World Cup being in 2023 next year, and the Olympics being the year after in 2024. Olympics. I forgot the location, but for sure the World Cup is in Australia, New Zealand. Keep in mind, this tournament is being played in Monterrey, Mexico from July 4th to the 18th. So ignore all the other previous claims I've been saying about September for this tournament. It is in July, so it's really, really relatively soon. But yeah, for this video, you probably saw the last video I uploaded, which I talked about both Canada and the USA, as well as any other teams CONCACAF, what group, what they're drawing in and what this all means. But for Canada and the USA specifically, I'm doing separate videos, starting with this one for the USA. They're in Group A, so we'll start with them first. And yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and break down who the USA draw, or who they drew for Group A. So we have Mexico, Jamaica, and Haiti for Group A, which I believe the stadium will be played at Estadio BBA. But we got some really quality opponents here for the U.S. women's team. I mean, Mexico, we know what they can do. I think they're getting on the rise, which is good for CONCACAF. Any team that, as I said, any team that's on the rise is good for CONCACAF. It makes the confederation better, and that's what we want to see, right? I mean, sure, Canada and USA dominating, that's good, but at the same time, you kind of get tired just of seeing the same teams dominate. You kind of want to see a little competition, between Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti, and all Costa Rica and all the other CONCACAF teams. But nonetheless, I mean, I think it's coming, and especially since the sport of women's soccer is growing rapidly in these countries, and they're really starting to embrace it more, which is, as I said, it only works best for CONCACAF. And but yeah, Mexico, as I said, is quickly becoming that third opponent, or I believe they already are. I think they're ranked 28th in the world in terms of the rankings, but they already are classified as the third, basically the third best team or country in CONCACAF, behind Canada and the USA. You can also argue that the Canada-USA spots are changing, like Harvard and Princeton, as they always change back and forth. But nonetheless, if we just look at the bigger picture between all the other CONCACAF teams in Mexico, Mexico is quickly on the rise. And that quickly speaks a lot, as it's good, and I love to see that. I love to see more competition, as I said. But yeah, Mexico quickly trying to challenge Canada and the USA. And I mean, we saw, as I said in the last video, we saw what Mexico did to Canada in a couple friendlies. They drew 0-0, and then they beat them 2-1 in Mexico. So, and this tournament is in Mexico, and it's not in the United States. So, it could work to Mexico's advantage since Mexico are the host here. But so yeah, that'll be a tasty matchup. And hey, U.S. versus Mexico women's rivalry. Any rivalry, anytime these two teams play each other, it's a big rivalry. Women's, men's, who it is, it's good. And this time, I mean, I believe it's going to be the USA playing once again a young lineup. So we got to keep that in the back of our heads at all times, as the USA is undergoing a transitional period, and we're starting to say goodbye to a lot of the veterans, like Megan Rapinoe, Carly Lloyd has already been goodbye. A few other names like that. But nonetheless, that also means it's time for new players to transition and slide in and take their places. We've seen that, and against Uzbekistan, and we'll see how they take that Uzbekistan from. I believe they have one more friendly in late June, right before the start of the tournament, against Colombia and Colorado, home of the Colorado Rapids, at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. So we'll see how they do that. And once again, it's kind of a rematch for Colombia, as they played in Orlando, but that's a friendly matchup. But back to the championship group, Mexico, as I said, I'm really, really looking forward to playing them, and I'm really happy that they're quickly developing their youth academies, and they're really getting, in terms of the women's sport, they're really getting better. And as I said, that works in everybody's favor in CONCACAF. And then the next team, we have Jamaica. As I said, Jamaica is probably arguably the fourth or fifth. I mean, you have to dispute that between them and Costa Rica. But Jamaica, nonetheless, is a very good team. I mean, the USA played a couple friendlies against them, and Jamaica, the Reggae Girls held their own relatively. to other opponents. I mean, I believe the worst was only 2-0. Um, and yeah, I mean that's really good, and it speaks volumes, honestly, to the Jamaican women's soccer as well as what they got going over there, as well as, I mean, hey, the talent just like Mexico, Jamaica's. I mean, they're growing too, and I've always wanted to see competition, and that always works out, as I've already said. But Jamaica, this might be this is good. All the games will be a good test. Just speaking about it, Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti will all be good tests for the U.S. This young transitional generation of young talent for the U.S. But Jamaica, I believe, I mean, once again, I think they're one of the masters at playing the low block, because the USA played them back in the fall with Nigeria. But Jamaica is just one of the masters of playing in that low block and really making it difficult for teams like the USA and Canada to really break them down. And I mean, hey, that speaks a lot. And once again, I mean, as the announcer said, I did say in the previous video, the USA, I mean, playing Uzbekistan as a semi-low block, I know they kind of struggled to master it over there, but I mean, that's kind of the same idea applies for all these CONCACAF teams. As for both Canada and USA, both these teams are going down, and they're going down to Mexico. They're facing opponents that are a little less than them. I mean, even though they're quickly growing in talent, but nonetheless, they're going to be looking to defend themselves and play low block and really just capitalize off of both teams' mistakes. And same story is going to be here. Jamaica, just like Mexico, most likely, although I said in the previous video, Mexico might not be afraid to take it to the USA and really just attack. Plus, you got to add that it's in their own home too. So they're used to the conditions, I would believe. This game is being played at a little bit of altitude, which is why USA is training in Colorado, for 5,000 feet, to prepare for playing about a mile or a little more than a mile above sea level, and the altitude, so you got to get used to burning your lungs, which Colorado is the perfect venue to do that, and really happy they chose that. But yeah, you got 3 games all in Monterey. Jamaica, as I said, but back to Jamaica. I went off topic again. Sorry, but Jamaica, low block. That'll be a good game, and I believe they got pace. They're gonna be looking to play off the wings and play that good old FIFA thing where you park the bus, you play the low block, and you just wait and be patient, and then you just take your chance and strike back in the counter. So I believe that's the USA Jamaica's game is gonna go. I mean, who knows? Maybe the USA will find a way easy and break them down, but we can only find out. And the final team that is a mystery for me, but I keep hearing a lot of rumors about, is Haiti. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, as I said, but a lot of people have been talking really, really highly on this Haiti national team for the women's. But I don't know if that's true. I've never seen them play, but I'm just going off of word of mouth here from other people saying, oh, Haiti, we can't sleep on them, as they had a really good run in their pre-qualifiers for this tournament, I believe. So if that's the case, then hey, I mean, Haiti, that's going to be an interesting game. U.S. and Haiti, I've never seen Haiti play. I mean, a lot of people might just look at the name and say, oh, this is going to be a blowout because it's Haiti versus the USA, and the USA, is the USA. But I honestly don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, giving off a word of mouth, though. Once again, as I said, only thing I have to do is just watch Haiti play on TV. And I might just try and sneak in one of the Haiti versus Jamaica, Mexico games, see how they play. Will it be a blowout? Are they really as good as people say, or are they just being overhyped? So that's one thing, and I don't know if you heard a lot about Haiti too in the comment section. Feel free to tell me below. Just give me more information. More information on Haiti is welcome, as well as any other team. But Haiti, I'm really, really intrigued about, because, as I said, I really don't know if these rumors are true. But I mean, Haiti for sure. But what I think I can probably guarantee, most likely it's going to happen, is Haiti's going to play a low block just like Jamaica and Mexico. They're going to be in there trying to prevent the USA from making progress in the offensive end, and they're just going to be they're trying to frustrate the USA and really try and hold their own, which is what all these CONCACAF teams are going to try and do. And that's how you get under the USA skin, or any other top team skin for that matter. You play a low block, and we saw it work with Nigeria and Canada. That one played to a 2-2 draw in Victoria recently. But Nigeria, quick off topic if you don't mind, Nigeria played a low block against Canada. It almost paid off for them, as they almost won 2-1 but Canada got a late goal in the end. But Nigeria scored first in the 5th minute, and then they scored again, but then Canada just stormed back. But hey, Nigeria's showing that low block, if you can play it right, can work. I'm pretty sure Haiti and each of these, Haiti, Jamaica, Mexico, each of these CONCACAF teams are going to have their own variation of a low block, which is, once again, it's all good for this young U.S. women's generation, which you're going to have to get used to playing against teams like that, especially when you get in the World Cup, which they would be expected to qualify once again for this tournament. But you're going to have to get used to playing teams like that, teams that are going to try and frustrate you in the low block. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And as I said, so that's pretty much your group. You got Mexico, Jamaica, and Haiti for your U.S. women's national team opponents. And as I said, I can't remember the particular order, but I believe the 2 semifinalist winners, so the basically 2 teams that advance to the finals, automatically qualify for the Olympics. And the 4 teams that advance to the semifinals, I believe, automatically qualify for the World Cup. I believe that's how it works. So we could potentially have 4 CONCACAF teams. We will have 4 CONCACAF teams here. If I'm right. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Any feedback is welcome. But I do know for a fact that I believe the 2 semifinalist winners, the 2 finalists, will book their tickets to the 2024 Olympics. So this would all be a fun competition. But once again, never have we had a double competition in one tournament. As I said in the previous videos, 2 and 1. I have to believe it's going to be really, really fun. Due to the pandemic, we've had a little change. But hey, that makes things more fun and should be more interesting to watch. So once again, your final games, Mexico, Jamaica, and Haiti in your group stage. Once again, the USA will be favored to advance to the finals and potentially play Canada, but we don't know. Anything can happen, and this is a young generation. We'll see how far they can go, but we just got to keep an eye out, and that's pretty much your group breakdown. But if you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Also, tell your friends that are make sure you hit the bell notification that way your video is uploaded or posted, and tell your friends we've got a good Group A here for the CONCACAF Women's Championship in Monterrey, Mexico.